and welcome to your Bank Holiday One show, and we are delighted to be sharing our Good Friday with Felicity Kendal. Oh, it's lovely to see you. Now, after exactly half a century, Thunderbirds are go once again this weekend as Tracy Island gets a 21st century makeover.
Yes, so is the spirit of Gerry Anderson's international rescue still alive and well? We will find out when I try to get out of this costume as Angelica does this film.
There's a beautiful charm about the series.
4.
It's got an amazing toys come to life quality about it, and I think that's made it timeless.
3.
It started off in this little one-story building in Slough's trading estate.
2.
It had everything in there that I thought would be entertaining.
1.
I'm on a voyage of discovery, but I need help. And there's only one organisation that could possibly be up to the job. Come in, International Rescue.
Thunderbirds are go.
Thunderbirds was children's TV with a Hollywood touch. Chisel-jawed heroes, action-packed rescues with a stirring orchestral soundtrack.
And it was the collapse of a mine in Germany in 1963 that gave TV producer Gerry Anderson the idea for his new programme.
Miners were trapped underground and a long way underground. The only drill available at that time was going to take 8 hours to get to the mine. So I started thinking there ought to be rescue equipment dumped all over the place. And so we embarked on the most difficult and most costly series I've ever made.
Key to the series' success were the enthralling characters, including eldest brother Scott, who was based on Gerry's own brother, a pilot who died in the war.
He was Dad's idol, and Dad never got over his death. So every one of his shows, there's a hero pilot, and he always wanted a kind of family unit, so that sets up the Tracy family quite nicely.
Arguably, the most iconic character was London agent Lady Penelope, with her pink Rolls Royce and Parker, her personal chauffeur. Thank you, Parker.
The person behind Penelope is the First Lady of Thunderbirds, Gerry's former wife, Sylvia Anderson. She provided the voice and the look for the puppet, but the inspiration for the character had a more literary origin.
Scarlet Pimpernel, it was a fop, if you like, living in Paris and everything, and everyone thought, oh, he's just, you know, one of these people that looks fantastic and doesn't do anything. So I thought that's perfect. So she can be based on that.
Get the Rolls Royce. We are going for a little drive.
It must have been a rare thing to have such a strong female character, female lead, in a boys' toys adventure show.
The woman was always walking a few paces behind the lead. So I wanted to get away from that if I could.
Developing the characters and their relationships was one thing. Bringing their adventures to life was another entirely.
Puppets are incredibly difficult to work with. You'll spend half an hour setting up a scene, and then suddenly a string will snap, or a mouth will start flapping open and closed, and maybe they would get 30 seconds to a minute in a day.
It may have been frustrating, but for its time, Thunderbirds was truly innovative.
As well as looking true to life, these puppets of tomorrow can talk like human beings as well. A magnet fixed to the back of the head receives electric impulses which move the lips in perfect time to the words they speak.
The puppets' wires carried 60 volts. The actors had it easier.
We just went on a Sunday and did 3 scripts as a radio play.
Gerry insisted on being the one central mic, because he said, look, you're all on a mission somewhere, and it's all going to come down to you guys together.
Thunderbirds are go.
With Thunderbirds now go again, what does it mean to be involved with a phenomenon that spanned half a century?
It moves me, it touches me. Having all this wonderful feedback makes it all worthwhile. I'll die a happy man.
You only realise when you step back for what you've done that it's good. And I sat down and I think, God, it is good. And that's why I think a lot of our stuff has lived on.
For everything else Thunderbirds was, it was a story about family, courage and kindness, all wrapped up in a world of fiberglass puppets and exploding models. So for children then and children now, that's still pretty FAB.
Parker, one last time.
Amazing. The real Lady Penelope there finishing the film perfectly.
And Gerry's son, Jaime Anderson, is here with some old friends there. We have Scott, we have Virgil, Tracy, and some of the other Thunderbirds. This is amazing.
It's incredible to have them so close, isn't it, Felicity?
Absolutely extraordinary.
You have no idea. Shay Ward, up the road from me, had this toy. I was never allowed to get it. I can't touch it. This is
I'm not sure you can take it home, to be honest.
Sorry, no.
Sort of priceless.
No,
sort of priceless. But we were struck, I mean, it happens to be that you're here tonight, by how much you're similar to Lady Penelope.
I'm not quite sure how to take
Oh, no, it's good.
Oh, no.
It's good, is it?
Oh,
no,
I
it
always
is good.
wanted to
Oh,
be
good,
Lady
good,
Penelope.
good.
Absolutely.
No,
Classy, sophisticated, gorgeous. Look at that.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, and so are you.
really-
That's amazing.
Yeah, about the right. Yeah. I'm sort of not quite sure about that. But
No,
the
it's-
guys are very handsome.
Well, to be honest, they're more alive than most guests we've had.
Really?
Yes.
But they're not going to speak much.
They not.
Unless you've got the electrical thing that makes them.
Sorry, they'll be a bit mute for this
They're
chat.
fascinating. It's
But your
absolutely
dad,
precious,
Gerry...
precious things.
I know, but his dad, Gerry, was infamously sort of unsentimental, wasn't he? And got rid of everything after he'd worked with these puppets. So where are these kept, then?
Well, most of the puppets are in private collections all over the world, and they're only brought together for events like conventions, like Andercon, the Gerry Anderson convention. But for many years, Penelope and Parker lived in my wardrobe in black plastic bags, which isn't very glamorous for such stars.
That is amazing. I didn't realise he was so big. Look, I didn't realise that... that's a huge puppet there. He's absolutely massive. And whenever you were at school, then, did people know that Gerry was your dad, or at what point did you become the coolest person in school?
I don't think I ever became the coolest person, but before the 1990s revival, a lot of my friends hadn't heard of the show, and then suddenly, come 1991, my friends and their parents were bringing in bits and pieces for me to take home to get signed by Dad, and suddenly I was sort of the coolest kid at school for a bit.
And there you are with him, look.
Oh,
Huge!
pictures.
In the wheelbarrow.
Whoever owns them then, after this?
They do
You
indeed.
can't keep them.
No, sadly not.
That's wrong.
I know, it's very sad,
That's
but they're looked after very carefully by these wonderful collectors, so...
And one of my favourite things is the way the puppets actually move. And I didn't realise that they were quite dangerous for the puppeteers because they got little shocks off them. Is that right?
Yeah, the lip sync unit had a 60-volt charge going to it, so there was certainly a chance for a shock, but I think most puppeteers have managed to avoid it. But it's such a skilled job to bring these static characters to life. You know, seeing brains come to life in front of us is just fantastic, I think.
OK, well, Thunderbirds are reborn on ITV this weekend with a brand new version. Now, Virgil, Scott and Jeff here aren't going to be called on.
P45 time.
Because it's all going to be done in CGI. So, lads, you might want to look away now as we take a look at this.
International Rescue, we have a situation. Thunderbirds are go.
Thunderbirds are go.
The animation looks good. I mean, what would your dad have made of it then? Would you have thought it lost a bit of his charm?
Well, he was really proprietorial over all of his stuff, so I'm not sure how he would have felt, being left out and not being involved. I think there's something to be said for the charm of the puppet characters. But, you can see from this remake that it's been done with a lot of love. There's a lot of love being poured into the reboot, so... yeah, it's exciting.
And one of the last projects that he actually did before he died was the Gemini Force.
Yes, indeed. Gemini Force 1 was his final book project that he was working on. He wrote that from 2008 and unfortunately wasn't able to complete it due to Alzheimer's disease. So not too long after he passed away, I decided it was silly to let Gemini Force rot and all, gather dust on a shelf. So we got a best-selling children's author, M.G. Harris, to finish the first book.
Wow.
And that first book is out now, part of a trilogy which is written with his notes. So it's a genuine Gerry Anderson project brought to life.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
So his legacy lives on.
Absolutely.
And as well, you've got your own puppet project. We can't talk about it now, but we would love you to come back and talk about it another time.
It's all about the Easter Bunny, I believe. It's Irish people in costume sweating too much.
Anyway. Thank you, Jaime.
Thank you.